Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Friday, so here's my Fright Friday review. This week's category was Which Witch, and I decided on The Craft from 1996. Here's the trailer. And of course, there's going to be a 5-second commercial before we can skip. Alright, yes, I will always skip.
To the other kids at St. Bernard Academy, they were the girls who didn't belong.
Whatever you do, stay away from them.
Why?
They're witches.
But after years of being on the outside,
Why'd you lie about me?
I don't want to go out with you again. Please, stop begging. It's pathetic.
4 girls are about to discover the dark side.
You ever heard of invoking the spirit? Black magic.
We can make things happen. I mean, this is it. This is real.
Columbia Pictures welcomes you to the witching hour.
Check it out. Her spell is working. Sit.
The Craft.
Girls, watch out for those weirdos.
We are the weirdos, mister.
Alright, that was the trailer for The Craft, which came out in 1996. Go ahead and read the synopsis there. A newcomer to a Catholic prep high school falls in with a trio of outcast teenage girls who practice witchcraft, and they all soon conjure up various spells and curses against those who anger them. Looks like there's some other ones written by different people there. I'll go back and show you some images from the movie, of course. And this is Pete the Cat thrown in there, whatever that is. There we go, some scenes from the movie. So if you haven't seen this one, definitely check it out. One of my favorite witchcraft movies. And it actually was recently released from Scream Factory, which I want to get that edition. Which I believe it's right there, the Blu-ray cover, next to the quadruple pack of it. And the original cover. Alright, go back for you. And then we got the cast. Robin Tooney is Sarah. Fairuza Bulk is Nancy, the craziest witch bitch of them all. Nev Campbell is Bonnie. Rachel True is Rochelle. We got Skeet Ulrich, who is Chris. Christina Taylor is Laura. Brecken Meyer was Matt. And which is, I believe he was also in Clueless around that time, so it was kind of funny. It almost seemed like his character that he was kind of like the skater goof guy in this as well. Skeet Ulrich, who was Chris, is basically the douchebag that tries to have his way with all the girls, lies about them, stuff like that. So he gets what's coming to him on that, and a little bit too much, but director was Andrew Fleming. So there's the images, which I already showed you. Internet Movie Data rating on there, 6.3 out of 10. So basically, it's about Sarah. She and her dad moved to a new house, and while she's at this school, she runs into Nancy, Bonnie, and Rochelle, who themselves have been practicing witchcraft, and they're looking for a fourth. And Neve Campbell, who has these burns on her body, that's why she wears long sleeves, she doesn't let anyone see her, sees Sarah looking at this pencil, and it was like standing up straight and then started turning on its own. So she was using like some sort of spell or telekinesis. And so Bonnie tells the rest of the girls that that's going to be the fourth to join in. And in between, Chris kind of talks to her and wants to go out with her and everything. And she's warned by Nancy that he's like a disease and he just lies about everyone and tries to sleep around. And then they go to this shop, and it ends up being a witchcraft store or magic shop or whatever you want to call it. And while they're there, Sarah meets the woman who runs the place and who tells her that she's a natural witch and that she's not really like the other girls who always like steal stuff. She actually buys things there. And so they pretty much go ahead and she gets thrown into their coven there. She tells the girls how like she does spells but without like meaning to. Like she would want it to rain and a pipe would bust in her room, or she wanted to be silent and she would go deaf for a few days. And at first Nancy didn't really believe her, and they do their whole sisterhood, drink each other's blood with a mixture of potion. And Nancy wants the power of Mano, who is not really a god, but basically, as she put it, if God and the devil were to play football, Mano is the stadium, is everything, the ultimate power. And they do little spells at first, some glamours, and light as a feather, stiff as a board, stuff like that. And then they invoke Mano, and they become more powerful, and they get revenge. The one girl that like doesn't like Rochelle just because she's black and annoying. Well, to her, but she's really not. She's just, as she even put it, a racist slut or something like that. I forget what she said exactly. And she ended up like having her lose her hair. Neve Campbell got her burns taken, were cured. And Sarah got Chris to hopelessly fall in love with her. But they learn that everything comes back times 3. And Nancy ends up killing Chris because the love spell is overpowering and attempts to rape Sarah. And while they're at a party, Nancy pretends to be Sarah and ends up killing Chris. And Sarah realizes that they're going too far, and she doesn't really want to be a part of it anymore. And they were saying that they don't need a fourth anymore. And if a witch betrayed her coven in the past, they used to kill her. So basically, it leads off into this final confrontation. And Sarah's running, and she tries to get help from the woman she meets at the witchcraft store. And she tells her how she's a natural witch, and of course her mom was a witch, and that she'll help protect you. And there's basically a final battle. If you haven't seen it, I won't get too much into it. But yes, everything does come back times 3. And in the end, of course, Nancy will probably learn the most of the lesson out of the other 3. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and check it out. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. And tomorrow is Slashback Saturday, so check that out, Joe the Horror Man. Then Corey, aka Need Gore, for Bloody Sunday. And my Monday, Maniacs, Monsters, and Mayhem. Alright, thanks for watching, and